Actually, it's the lead play in our offense.
We ask our YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet, get an isolation with the linebacker. Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here. Try to run this play in the alley.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Packers Total Access pregame show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. You can find me on Twitter at Packers_access. You can email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us 865-658-5824. I'm rolling solo tonight. To the best of my knowledge, Jacob is somewhere getting ready for pregame festivities. Obviously, Tim's a little under the weather, and we're getting ready for a big game here tonight against the Vikings. You know, everybody's watching the Steelers game right now as it's pretty much official. Najee Harris just went down at the 5-yard line, so the Pittsburgh Steelers have defeated the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to need some help with the chat. I need confirmation here, guys, because we talked about this earlier today. There are so many people tweeting about playoff scenarios that I just want to be real careful and not be inaccurate with what I'm talking about on here, because believe me, I am wrong all the time. You don't believe me? Ask my wife, all right? This is what we've seen coming into this week. The simplest way for the Packers to make the playoffs is to win out, defeating the Vikings in Week 17 and the Bears in Week 18. In that scenario, Green Bay would finish 9-8, but still need help from other teams around the league. However, the Packers may not require as much assistance as one thinks. If Green Bay goes 2-0 to finish the season, it will only need one loss by either the Rams or the Seahawks in order to make the postseason as the NFC's 7th seed. If LA and Seattle each drop one game and the Packers win out, they win the number 6 seed. So unless I'm reading that wrong, we should be good to go. We got to win out, right? The Packers have got to win these last 2 games. And if that happens, then, of course, with this loss right now from Seattle, we are there. So, yeah, it looks like everybody's confirming here in the chat too. Yeah, I seen that too, Chad. That was tough, man. That was really, really tough. The Giants almost had the Rams today, but Crosby missed. It's like, what are the chances that Packers playoff hopes are somewhat hinged on Mason Crosby hitting a field goal for the New York Giants, right? So it was good drama. I didn't like the outcome, but it was definitely good drama for sure. But yeah, like everybody's seeing now, feeling good. Jen Wright says feeling good in this Wisconsin hood. Absolutely, as the Steelers pulled it off there against the Seattle Seahawks. So that's exciting stuff there. TV, come on, let's be easy here. Let's be easy on Crosby. He says Crosby screwed us again, but I'm happy the Seahawks lost. Crosby was a good player, man, you know, and I know you're probably joking. It's just tongue in cheek. I'm a big Crosby fan, but yeah, that was tough seeing him miss that kick. And you can kind of see why the Packers went in a different direction too, right? Because that kick looked weak. And I know it wasn't no chip shot, but you could just kind of tell, man, he's missing a little leg strength in his older age, as we all are, I'm sure. So, yeah, you hate to see it for Crosby. But, again, looks like the Packers, man, this is all we wanted, gang. This is all we wanted all year long, was just to have an opportunity, right, to play for the postseason, to play for the playoffs. And I'm fired up about this game tonight, man. We're going to learn a lot about the Packers. It's going to be really cool to kind of see how they all come out and perform and respond to everything that's happened up to this point. I'm really eager to see Jordan Love, just because, you know, you start the season, I think there was definitely way more doubters than there were believers, right? I feel comfortable saying that when it comes to Jordan Love. He comes out and plays well the first couple weeks, then hits that slump and everybody's back off the train, right? And then all of a sudden he goes on this tear where it's like, what is it, 11 touchdowns with 1 interception, I believe, is this little run he's on right now. If he carries that into these last 2 weeks and somehow, some way they make the playoffs, man, it's exciting. The future, everything about it is just going to be absolutely awesome. The defense, you know, obviously we beat it to death, right? Beat that dead horse like crazy. The defense has struggled, you know, especially here of lately. The red zone defense has kind of collapsed a little bit. The offense didn't really do them any favors as far as the 3 and outs, but anytime a team scores 33 points last week, your defense should be able to come out and, and do better than 30 points, right? As far as how many you're giving up. But yeah, a lot of people in the chat too talking about the Bears. David here says, damn, the Bears look good today. They did, man. They have here lately. Justin Fields, if you look at some of the statistical categories when we talk about Jordan Love, Justin Fields is kind of right there. Now, am I sold on him? No. Last year, I hit a couple points in the season where I was like, maybe he's not as bad as some people would lead you to believe, right? And don't get me wrong, I love hating on the Bears as much as the next person. But I don't know, they seem to be peaking right now, which we should be excited about that matchup too. Got to take care of business tonight, right? Listen, even if the Packers don't win tonight, right? Next week still means something to me. It's Packers Bears, man, and I hope we boat race the Vikings tonight. I hope we make the playoffs, right? I'm not one of those fans like, I want a better draft pick. You can't win a Super Bowl, just get me a better draft pick. I hate that stuff. I hate that mindset. It's a losing mentality. I don't think anybody in the NFL thinks like that. Maybe some front office guys do, but not down in that locker room, not in that coaching staff, because you start losing. Ask B-Flow about that losing. It sounds to me like the owner in Miami pretty much told B-Flow he wanted him to lose, and he still fired him. Not that he did it on purpose, not that he lost on purpose, but the owner got what he wanted, right? And he still ran him out of town. So that got ugly quick, though, for sure. But, yeah, no way, dude. You serious? So Turtles in the chat says Carrington Valentine with a Charles Woodson shirt on. I need pictures of that. See, this is why I need other people co-hosting, so I could go comb through Twitter and get you guys that picture. But like I said, we're just going to do kind of a quick show tonight and bring you the actives, inactives, which let's go ahead and get to it. You guys fire away with questions, fire away with comments. I'll come back to the chat here in a second. But one more screen grab here just to kind of give you a little bit better illustration too. Green Bay can be eliminated from the number 6 seed with just a loss, right? Green Bay can be eliminated from the playoffs with a Green Bay loss in one of these, which is a LA Rams win, a Seattle win, an Atlanta Falcons win, plus a Saints win, plus a Cardinals win, plus a Redskins, plus a Washington football team win, plus a Dallas Cowboys win, the Bengals win. You see how it gets kind of convoluted. We just got to win out, baby. Got to win out now, and it's all in the bag. But as far as the actives and inactives, they are live. Let's hit them real quick. So bad news, let's get it out of the way first. Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison is active tonight. So they're going to have that 1-2 punch between Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. You guys know I was really, really high on Jordan Addison going into the draft. Matter of fact, I think I've got the draft board here. It might be a little bit hard to see. Let's see if I can go full screen here and find where he's at. I'm pretty sure I had him towards the top. He was one of those receivers that he was my number 16th overall prospect, according to my board. He graded out as a 13, so he was in the same tier with the Paris Johnsons, the Broderick Joneses, right, which I believe that would have been, let's see, tier 1, 2, 3. He was in tier 4. Really, really high pick. Really good, solid player. Jordan Addison is one of those players. If you look on PFF, he's not grading out like outstanding, but when you watch the game, sometimes you gotta take PFF with a grain of salt, right? You guys know I'm as big a fan when it comes to PFF as anyone, but you turn on the tape and you watch Jordan Addison, he looks comfortable at the NFL level. So that 1-2 punch between Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, I know people don't want to hear it. What it comes down to for me, what gives us the best shot to win, right? You're down Jair Alexander, you're down Eric Stokes, although we would all agree they've played like hot garbage here lately. Play your quarters coverage. We played all that man last week and it did not work. We played man 6 out of the final 7 plays against the Giants, and it did not work. Let's get back to doing what we were doing earlier in the season, which was bend but don't break. I know people hate that philosophy, but what that does is keep everything in front of you. It prevents you from giving up the explosive plays. Yes, they can they can kill you with 1,000 paper cuts. I got you, and it's not ideal. But this man coverage, man, don't you guys kind of feel like? Tell me if you disagree, man. I kind of feel like that experiment's over. Like let's play zone match. If we don't even know what our assignment is because we don't know what routes they're going to run, we talked with Coach Haddad, if they run this route, then your assignment is this. If you don't know it and the offense is dictating your assignment, how in the world are they going to know it, right? So I don't know. I feel like it makes a young quarterback be more decisive. And the other thing, too, is we cannot rush upfield like we did last week against Jaron Hall this week, he'll scramble. He'll do the same thing DeVito did if these edge rushers decide they're just going to rush 8 yards up the field, right? So we got to make sure we play contain and play sound there in that regard. But Packers inactives versus the Vikings. Christian Watson, Devondre Campbell, Dontavian Wicks, Caleb Jones, and Brenton Cox Jr. No surprises there. You guys heard me say with Jaden Reed being healthy, probably want to sit Wicks down and let him heal up. He took one of those hospital balls there, the touchdown catch he had last week. Jordan kind of led him into traffic a little too much, and he took that shot to the chest. That's why he's missing. I feel really comfortable with Christian Watson possibly coming back next week, if indeed the Packers do win this week, and we're still fighting for something next week. So it's going to be interesting tonight for sure. Let's see here. Let's go to the chat, and I'll try not to produce too much dead air here, but yeah, we've got all kinds of people in here. This is awesome, man. If you guys would hit that like button for us so other Packer fans can find this content, find this channel, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us, man. We're roughly an hour from game time right now, so we'll try to take you up to about 20 minutes before game time. Let's see what Paul said in the chat. He said, there's a reason why Vikings started their most mobile quarterback on their roster. We have serious issues with mobile quarterbacks. We do, depending on how we play them. Do you know why we have serious issues with them? Because we've been playing more man coverage, right? You're playing more man coverage. You're turning your back to the quarterback. And that's just another downfall to playing man coverage. If you've got the horses to run a mostly man-dominant defense, yes, man, it's very, very valuable, right? But we're trotting out a 7th-round pick in Carrington Valentine, who I love. PFF doesn't love him. I like him because I watched him play at Kentucky. And I think he's got a little dog in him. I think that when the game's on the line, it's not too big for him. He kind of seems like he rises to the occasion in that regard. But you got him and Ballantyne out there on the edge. I don't know if Long's active or not. If he is, he may see a little playing time. You got Keyshawn Nixon in the slot that struggled, but he's struggling in the slot when you're playing man. There's been a couple calls this year where they've called Meg, what we call Meg, where you're playing zone match across the board, but you've got Meg in the slot where it's man everywhere you go. So he's essentially just playing man coverage because he's playing up on the receiver and playing more aggressive. I want to get away from that tonight, man. Let's disguise some spinner looks, man. Let's show shell all night long to this young quarterback. Let's make sure we got a spy involved. If you do go man, you better be playing cover one drop. You better have that linebacker dropping and playing spy / middle zone, or you better have a robber playing, middle zone / spy from the top down. But I would like to show shell coverage all night as long as we can hit our run fits. They're going to try to lean on the run, I imagine, right? So let's make sure we take away the run, and let's keep Jaron Allen from scrambling all over the joint, right? That should be kind of the goal tonight, in my opinion. I get nervous with man coverage, man. I'm not a fan at all. Let's see here. Doug in the chat said, got to give flowers to Tomlin. 17th straight season of winning record 500 or better. Tomlin is him. It's a rough year on Tomlin too, Doug. That's a good point. 17 straight years of winning football, man. And Steeler fans are just as spoiled as the Packers fans, right? I mean, over the years, I got to admit, man, we are really, really spoiled. I know some Packer fans don't want to hear that, but I'm not too prideful to admit that, man, for sure. Let's see here. Jen Wright in the chat said, Valentine with the Woodson spirit equals win. Hey, maybe that's a sign to come. What if he had a couple picks after wearing that shirt? Wouldn't that be awesome, Jen? That'd be absolutely awesome. Let's see here. So Turtles doesn't know a damn thing of what he's talking about. He said Clayton for DC. No, sir, no, ma'am, whoever it is out there. So Turtles, we do not want that. If you don't like the Fire Joe Barry chants, what do they get a load of me? That would be ugly. That would be very, very ugly. I'm still trying to. I tell you, sometimes I dig into some of these schemes, especially at the college level. It's like, how in the world does anyone keep up with these tendencies across the league, especially in college with all the teams, all the coaching staffs? Let's see here. Hopefully this isn't inappropriate. Usually we got to proofread Eric Sutherland's before we put it up here, but here it is. Appreciate you, Eric. Good to see you in here, buddy. He said, regardless of how Rhett season ends, I'm happy with this young offense and what they've accomplished, and hoping this defense can improve the future. Could be very bright in Green Bay. Get the gist of what you're saying there, Eric. Again, we're playing with the house's money, man. We said 6 to 10 wins. We're sitting at 7 with the opportunity to make the playoffs, man. Let's go. All right, let's go. Brandy seems to agree. Let's go zone coverage for sure. Keep your eyes on the quarterback, right, Brandy? Got to keep your eyes on the quarterback tonight. Don't be turning your back. If he sees numbers on those jerseys, he's looking for a running lane. And there's only so much you can do while you're trying to apply pressure as well as keep your run gap integrity in place, it's a lot more difficult than some of us try to make it out to be playing Madden, right? So love to see them keep their eyes on him all night long too. And that's another really good point. Brandy said the key to zone is winning up front. You've got to win your matchups up front. And we've got the dogs to do it up there. Rashawn Gary's due for a game, guys. He's in a pretty big slump. Had a phenomenal first half, was like in the top 5 in pressures, signed the contract. People believe it's attached to the contract. Had a big game on Thanksgiving Day, which I should have my jersey this week. I'm so excited about that, man. I'm basically recreating the Thanksgiving Day jerseys, and I had to choose between Rashawn Gary and Jordan Love, and I went with Rashawn Gary. I'm a big defensive guy, and got the Thanksgiving Day John Madden patch to put on it. We're going to try to frame it. I'll probably end up wearing it, knowing the knucklehead that I am. But Rashawn Gary up front, man, we need a big game from him, Brandy, in order to win up front, like you're saying. There's no doubt about that. Jeff Silky in the chat says, win the turnover battle tonight, run the damn ball, play shell, and look to win up front and the edges. Amen. Doesn't it sound like a boring game plan, Jeff? Sounds magical to me, man. I don't care if we win by 1 point. Let's don't get too cute out there. Let's try not to be too aggressive, and let's just make them. Let's allow them to make the mistakes. They've got an awesome receiver core, right? But you're talking about a rookie 5th-round pick who's had, what we say, 9 snaps or 9. It was either 9 attempts or 9 total. I think it was 9 total snaps this year. So let's not try to trick ourselves into thinking this is a seasoned vet out there. Now, people immediately say, well, what about DeVito, Clayton? He lit us up. If you take away DeVito's rushing lanes and the way that we just rushed upfield recklessly and gave him those rushing lanes, that's a different ballgame there, guys. It's not like DeVito carved us up through the air. He didn't have a huge stat line through the air. It was his ability to convert on 3rd downs and being able to scramble for those big gains that really hurt us. So I like our chances tonight. Again, any given Sunday, Jaron Hall may come out and be the next Tom Brady. People are giggling right now. There was nobody saying Tom Brady was Tom Brady, right? So you anybody at this level, they can go off. Look at Brock Purdy this year. Same thing, right? So I'm not saying we should overlook Jaron Hall. I'm simply saying with the information that we have at hand right now, I think we should play it exactly how you're saying right here, Jeff. Win the turnover battle tonight, protect the football, run the ball, establish the run, stick with the run, use some play action off of it. I want to see some boot. I want to see some boot strike. I want to see a little gun drift. I want everything that all of these players that's been in Matt LaFleur's system for multiple years is now comfortable running. That's what I want to see with the offensive scheme. I don't want to see you getting cute. I don't want to see the wide receiver throwbacks, right? I'm saying let's stay under center. Let's work the play action game. Let's make them make the mistakes on offense and control the turnover differential for sure. Let's see what else we got here. Robert Allen says, I'm okay with match, talking about zone match. Let's keep the pressure on this kid. Rush lane integrity, absolutely. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about, Brett. I love this energy, man. He says, Jordan Love legacy game number 1. Let's go. Hey, put the Queens to bed, man. Put them to bed, right? Go out there and let the NFC North know, look, yeah, we're down a little bit this year, but we got our guy. That's what we need. Don't try to do too much. Manage the game, play within the scheme, take what they give you. We've talked about their tendencies all week, right? What do we talk about? They bring 3 rushers, like top 3 in the league. They do it as much as anybody, just bringing 3 rushers. They also bring 6 rushers or more than anybody in the league, right? So what else do? They play a good mix of zone and man, right? So with the good mix of zone and man, which were they better at? They were better at zone. So you're probably going to see a little more zone, would be my guess. All these things matter. And when you look at the EPA and how it goes across the board, this defense isn't as solid as people would lead you to believe. You hear some people talk on Twitter like this is a top 5 defense. They're top 10 in scoring. It's funny how when it's a Packer opponent, all of a sudden the scoring defense matters now. I love how that happens. But they are a top 10 team in scoring, if I understood correctly, on defense. So I think they're a solid defense. But here's the thing, too. Jordan has been so good with pressure. He's been so good against the blitz, right, and finding the solution here of lately. If they decide to blitz, what worries me was the stat. I think it was Carly brung it up, if I remember correctly, on the show last night. She said that the last time we played them, I think when they dropped 8 into coverage, Jordan Love was 1 for 7 with a turnover, too. So that goes to show you. They're looking at that tape going, hey, look, he struggled when there was 8 in coverage. Don't be afraid to tuck that ball and run, but make sure you get down. Don't take a lick, right? That's something that could come into play. Want to keep our eyes on that. All night long, guys, as soon as the ball snapped, take your eye off the ball. Hence the book that Jen's reading now, that Carly's read, that I've read, that Jacob, Tim, everybody's read, right? Take your eye off the ball for a second tonight and try to establish as quick as possible how many are they actually rushing the quarterback with. And just try to keep that mental note. And if somehow, some way I can break away and do a post-game show tonight, then we'll talk about that. And the reason I think it would be important to kind of hit on that, because that statistic we're talking about going in, Jordan struggled with 8 in coverage. They play 8 in coverage more than just about anybody in the league. They also blitz more than 6, more than anybody in the league. So it's probably going to be, just ice and fire, right? They're either going to drop 8 or they're going to bring the house. So as soon as the ball snapped, take your eye off the ball for a second and try to establish how many are rushing. Is it 5? Is it 6? Is it 3? You're probably going to see 3 and 6 plus a lot tonight. And that might be the recipe for Jordan Love legacy game. I would think that in passing situations, they're probably going to put more in coverage based off of the success they had. Now, it was a very small sample size, and I think we would all agree that's a different Jordan Love that they played earlier in the year. I think we would all agree with that. So let's see what else we got here in the chat. Just pretty straightforward. Green Ranger, appreciate you swinging through. He's a member of the PTA Posse. Appreciate you. Said, go Pack Go. Happy New Year. If you guys are interested in joining the Posse, if you go to our YouTube homepage, you'll see a join tab. You can click and become a member of our YouTube group. The group is called the PTA Posse. That enters you into the contest to win autographed memorabilia throughout the season, which will be given away next week after the Bears game. During the postgame show, we're going to give away an autographed David Bakhtiari jersey. So make sure, if that's something you're interested in, to get yourself entered into that for sure. So let's see here. Bleeding Green and Gold says, look, D just needs to show up. Maybe play hard for your DC, if nothing else, just for their own pride. It's like the meme, right? Bleeding Green and Gold. Remember the meme where it's got the stick figure and he's got a stick in his hand and he's poking something. You put whatever logo you want, it says do something, right? Just do something. And I know people don't want to hear it, but last week, guys, there was 7 minutes left in the game, and we had them at 16 points. It was a 3rd and 12 play. We ran cover 1 man, and we blitzed 6. And Jair played 10 yards off the ball while everyone else played snugger, and he gave up the first down. From that point forward, it was just a snowball downhill, right, with this defense. I know people don't like to hear it. Joe Barry was being honest when he said it. Joe Barry was being honest when he said we played good defense for 53 minutes. But, man, those last 7 minutes, that was hot garbage. It was hot garbage. And you were playing a lot of man, and you were blitzing. So let's learn from that, right? Let's learn from it. Trevor in the chat says, I think the defensive key is the pass rush getting home. We could use another 3-sack, 2 forced fumble game from Gary. Yeah, man, give me Thanksgiving Day 2.0, right? Here's what's cool, too, guys. It's a holiday, right? Technically a holiday. I guess people refer to New Year's as a holiday. It's New Year's Eve. We won on Thanksgiving. We won on Christmas Eve. Can we go 3-0 on the holidays this year? Right? I like our chances. I do. All right, Mike Witt in the chat. That looks like a new name, man. Appreciate you swinging through. Says Romeo goes for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just a gut feeling. I know this. When the game's on the line, think player, not play, right? Last week, with some people banged up, who did Jordan go to? Man, that 3rd and 4 shot down the sideline where they ran that Haas concept. Actually, it wasn't Haas. I can't remember the concept. It was essentially an inside. You had 2 receivers, a 2-by set on the left of Jordan, right? And the number 1 receiver closest to the sideline, that's your 1. You basically can't count from out to in, okay? So your 1 is your receiver on the far boundary. Then you got your 2 in the slot. If there's a 3rd in the trips, he would be the number 3 receiver, right? You had the number 1 run a little. It was almost like a switch concept too with the flat, and then you had Romeo Dobbs run that 9 fade, and on a 3rd and 4, and that catch he made. Whether you think it was a catch or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is what was the final call. And man, he made a strong catch at the catch point. I know that. When the game's on the line, he looks for Dobbs. Later that drive, what did we do to take the lead? He went to Dobbs on that quick little out route, right? The quick out where they did some motion to fan, that quick shift to fan, where you had the receivers kind of cascading away from the ball and staggered a bit. Some people call it stag. I call it fan. But that was a beautiful look. You got them to separate just enough. You beat the underneath guy. You got the over-the-top guy to commit inside because the guys were stacked so close together. But, yeah, Romeo Doubs, man, he might be in for a night too. And the other thing we got to acknowledge about Romeo Doubs too, you guys know I don't see him as a number one receiver, and many may disagree with that. That's okay. I see Doubs as a very, very, very good number 2 receiver, like top 5 in the league number 2 receiver. That's how good I think he is. PFF would agree with that too, by the way. I think Tay Wicks is in the making of being a dominant number 1 receiver if we can keep him healthy. I think Christian Watson is probably grading out somewhere in that number 2 range as well, like Romeo Doubs. The difference is Christian Watson can hit a home run any freaking play. If he gets that hammy healthy, that guy's going to be a menace to the league. I mean, you've seen the last 2 games he played, he started heating up. But Dobbs is just one of those guys, man. When Love needs someone, he's looking to go to someone. That's him. I'll tell you another one to not overlook tonight too, Mick or Mike Witt, is Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft's numbers are crazy right now. Passer rating, all that stuff, like passer rating when targeting, which is technically the quote-unquote receiving rating. That dude is like in the top 10 amongst tight ends. He's playing really, really good. And PFF has got him graded out like at a 60, but that's 30th best in the league amongst tight ends, if I remember correctly. So he's grading out as a starting caliber tight end, which is really exciting. So, yeah, maybe Dobbs does have a night tonight for sure. If you guys would, hit that like button for us so other Packer fans can find this channel and find this content. We really appreciate you hanging out with us here this evening. The chat's just absolutely on fire. You guys are carrying the load, and I really appreciate it with Tim being out sick. And I don't know where Emilio is. He's MIA. Hopefully he's not in a clink somewhere down there in Blount County, Tennessee. Hopefully he's staying out of trouble here on this New Year's Eve. But I do want to say this. I want to give a special shout out to BetUS, the official sports book of Packers Total Access Live. If you guys want to support this stream another way, and it doesn't cost a dime, if you'll click on the link in the description of this video, that will send you directly to BetUS. And by using that link and registering as a customer for free, it still lets BetUS know that we sent that business to them. So if you want to help like I said, help the stream, help the channel, and it not cost a dime, and also take a peek at their interface. Got a really, really cool setup with BetUS. You know, last I heard, according to PFF, the green line had this at -1.5 for Minnesota. It may have moved again. Last I checked on BetUS, you could get Green Bay +1 in this matchup here. Basically meaning, you know what it means. I don't have to explain it to you. You guys are grizzled veterans when it comes to the gambling game. I will say this. If you are gambling, do not bet a single dime that you can't afford to lose. Always gamble responsibly. Again, we appreciate BetUS becoming the official sports book of Packers Total Access Live. They've been America's favorite sports book for 30 years now. They got established in 1994, heading into their 30th year. Really exciting stuff there. So, again, let's just I'm going to go ahead and keep these inactives up so you ain't got to stare at my ugly mug here this evening. Again, inactive for the Packers: Christian Watson, Devondre Campbell, Dontavian Wicks, Caleb Jones, and Brenton Cox Jr. Of course, Jair Alexander is suspended this week, and Eric Stokes has officially been placed on IR, so we'll be without those 2 guys for sure. Let's get back to the chat here, though, and see what we might have missed here. All right. G-Dog in the chat said, rookie quarterback, going to be hard to predict what he's good at. He has good wide receivers, but we should be able to contain him. I think turnovers will decide the game tonight. Very well said, G-Dog. That's the tough part about it. Like, people are blasting us, Packer fans are blasting our defense because, look, they made DeVito look great, right? There wasn't a whole lot of tape on DeVito yet. They seen what DeVito can do good. I guarantee you people watch the tape. The next opponent for DeVito probably went in, well, let's watch the Packers tape. Yeah, all we got to do is keep this cat in the pocket, make him throw from within the well. That should be the goal with Jaren Hall tonight, right? He's 6 foot tall, too. He's a shorter quarterback. Make him throw from within the well. What I mean by that is make him step up in the pocket and throw behind that big offensive line, that big defensive line, right? Limit the throwing lanes, the throwing windows. It's not so much that's why I don't feel like we have to blitz him. Don't rush upfield, squeeze the pocket on him, right? Let Kenny, let White, let these big interior guys push that pocket in on him, make him step up into the well, and don't give him those rushing lanes on the B to C gap on each side, right? Mostly to the right. I'm okay with a right-handed quarterback having to scramble left. I'm okay with you being more aggressive in that regard to try to hit a home run and hit home with a little more aggressive outside rush, right? Because he's going to have to throw across his body. A lot more things have got to go right for him. A lot more things could go wrong for him than right when you're trying to throw across your body. It's just giving him that open lane to rush up and step up in and out of the pocket on the right side that worries me. So make him throw from within the well, man. It's going to be absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. TV Fanatic in the house says, I'm excited when I think of the offense, thinking we can win our last 2 games. But then I think of our defense, and I'm back sad again. I think 99% of Packer fans relate to that, TV Fanatic. I think they do. I see Eric Sutherland. He's spilling the beans. He said, been drinking, so my spelling looks like I'm from Alabama. Actually, we got footage from someone from Alabama, I believe. We added it earlier this morning. Let's see if we can find that real quick. Speaking of Alabama natives, let's hit this.
I tried this one chili and it set my mouth on fire, and I had to drink a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
I'm trying to figure out how to spell Mountain Dew. I don't know how you guys hear my accent like, yeah, I'd talk, Clayton. That Alabama accent, Eric, it's a little bit different down there, man. It's a little bit different down there. Let's see. Duke in the chat says, did you all hear the Sunday Night Football segment called Copycat berating the Packers defense just now? Oh, no, I didn't. If you want to give us some details in here in the chat, I'll try to get back to the chat on that, Duke, but you can at least let everybody know in here. That's the only thing that sucks about doing the pregame show is not being able to watch the pregame show leading up to the Packers kickoff. But I'll tell you, this is way more enjoyable than that. But I do kind of miss those inside stories. But yeah, fill the chat in if you haven't already. Love to hear what they had to say there. It does. I know I'm a homer. I'm a Packer fan, but it does kind of feel like the mainstream, like the national sports media, they like to take a lot of shots at the Packers. Seems like more shots than any other team, but maybe I'm just being a crybaby with that. I don't know. G-Dog says, how many quarterbacks have the Vikings been switching between? LOL. Shoo, they've had 4 this year that I know of, right? And so you started with Kirk Cousins. Of course, he got hurt in the game against us there early in the season. You went to Joshua Dobbs. Remember, he's another one. He was the big darling, right? Played 2 games that were just lights out. Oh, my God, this dude might be the starter moving forward. And then what happened? They got tape on him, right? That's the scary part about Jaron Hall tonight. You don't have any tape on him. So it's hard to kind of limit his strengths and apply pressure to his weaknesses. But, yeah, so they had Kirk Cousins, they had Joshua Dobbs, and then went to Nick Mullins, and now they're going to Jaron Hall. So 4, to the best of my knowledge. It may have been more, but 4 is the one. I think 4 is the correct number. Let's see here. Eric Sutherland said DeVito sacked 80 times in 2 weeks, plays the Packers, and looks like Joe Montana. That was tough, man. And again, though, when you look at it, to me, it wasn't like, oh, man, the game plan was bad. Those guys were just pinning their ears back and rushing so far upfield. You've seen it with Enigbare last week, man. That was frustrating. Seeing him get 8 yards deep behind the quarterback is like, are you expecting the quarterback to turn his back to the line and run straight backwards? Like it's NFL blitz or something, right? Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like, what are we doing here, man? Squeeze the pocket. Number one Packer fan says exactly. Let's play some straight up football. Stop trying to be sexy and punch someone in the in the dang mouth. I like the got there. That's pretty cool. Love it. That's what I'm talking about. Jen, right? Hey, I'm going to tell you something, Jen. I'm glad you bring this up. She says Hall needs to meet LVN. So if you guys follow me on Twitter, I went to Top Golf for the first time today. Never been to a Top Golf. Absolutely phenomenal. The food was excellent, right? And I was out there shanking balls. I was slicing them. I was hooking them. It was horrible. People were asking for my swing. Ain't no way I'm putting that on tape. I don't want y'all to throw up on your shoes. But we were hanging out, eating wings, having a couple daddy soda, swinging at some golf balls. When we go to leave, they decided they want to stop by some kind of like, it's like a local Home Depot, I guess you could say, down here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So I'm like, you guys go in, take your time, and I need to sleep this off. I lay down in the back seat of the truck, right? I'm just taking a nap like the redneck that I am. When they come out and unlock the door, I wake up, we pull out. Guess what the name of the street was? And Mandy pointed it out to me. She said, "Oh, look at the name, look at the street name, Clay." It was Van Ness. I was thinking, what if he has a game tonight? What if he comes out and has 2 or 3 sacks tonight? How cool would that be? First time I've ever seen a street named Van Ness in my whole life. I'm 41 years old. So maybe it was a sign. Maybe it was a sign from the football gods. I don't know. TV Fanatic says, if we had a chance to tie it or go for 2, go for the tie. I just seen 2 teams lose today because they went for 2 and failed. I hate that mindset, man. I really do, TV Fanatic. It's like, just tie the ball game up. Like, the Lions' first 2-point conversion call, I respect it. I get it. They had all the momentum. They had that Dallas defense on their absolute heels. They called a perfect play call. Got screwed in the end. That's my opinion. I'm not unhappy about it. It's the Lions. Couldn't happen to a better team other than the Vikings or the Bears. But, I kind of like that play call. But the second one was like, what are you doing, Campbell? And then the third one, what are we doing? You're going to try to go for it again? Like, you've got a handful of plays in the hopper for those specific situations, right? And you've already burned your ace in the hole. That first play they called, that was their go-to play. That was the one like, okay, we find ourselves in a situation where we need a 2-point conversion or a play from the 2-yard line on a third down and the clock's a factor or what have you. That's the go-to play. And then to do it over and over and over again, man, it's just like, to now you're digging into your second best play and now your third best play. I think Dallas strategically used a timeout at some point because they got the look they wanted to see, and then they called a timeout to make the Lions adjust again. There's a lot of that cat and mouse going on there for sure. But yeah, TV Fanatic, that's interesting, man. We definitely agree there. I'm very conservative. I'm a boring fan. Of course, if they get it, we're not complaining, right? But if they don't get it, we'll be going, told you so. It's funny how that works. G-Dog in the chat. Real simple request here. I think we can make this happen. G-Dog says, John Deere Green.
John Deere Green. On a hot summer night, he rode Billy Bob loves Charlene.
Love it. You love it. Never gets old. Paul Robertson said, Atlanta, talk about a team that doesn't get its weapons the ball. He's been on the hot seat all year. What's his name? Arthur Smith, right? Am I thinking right? Yeah, Arthur Smith, I think is his name. He doesn't have to coach. I don't know if you guys know his story, but his family, I think they started UPS, if I remember correctly. They're billionaires, that family is. And he coaches because he loves it. Doesn't seem like he's very good, according to the fan base down there anyway. I live down here in Tennessee, and we get a lot of Atlanta Falcons fans spilling over into Tennessee, and they are not happy with that guy. No doubt. Chad Inc. in the chat says, I'm really excited to see how Val and Bao play tonight. I am too, man, because, we talked about it before, Chad. We were nervous about Jair and Stokes getting healthy. And, I kind of backed off my opinion. Like, Clayton, what are you talking about? They're both first-round picks. One is supposed to be the best, one of, if not the best corners in the league. Why would you not be excited about getting them back? Because I was afraid they were going to do exactly what they did. They changed the scheme up. They changed the game plan up. And they got too aggressive, thinking, okay, we got our dogs back. Let's play more man coverage. They got absolutely cooked. So I'm excited to see Val and Bao play too, man. They're playing for their football careers, right? They know the Packers are most likely going to be looking for a corner in this year's draft. Maybe not in the first round, but definitely in the first 3 rounds if the board falls the way they want it to, right? Because Stokes, there's a huge question mark on Stokes. I think we would all agree. Keyshawn Nixon is not the answer at slot. Jair Alexander, we don't even know if he's going to be here. I hope he is. I hope he comes back from the suspension and things are better. Things have changed. I don't feel comfortable saying I believe that's the case. But these guys, from their perspective, is, look, they're probably going to be looking for a corner. Let me show them that I'm the corner, right? Let me show them that I can carry the load. I think they believe in Valentine. And, Ballantine, too, if that is the proper way of pronouncing it. I hope I'm getting it right now. With Ballantine, something similar, right? He's fighting for his football life as well. Look at this. We got us a special guest in the house. I'm tired of reading. I'm glad he's in here. Let me get this off the screen. Look at that. Look at that beautiful beard on that man right there. What's up, Jacob?
I tried, dude. I really tried to be here on time. Have you guys ever had a garage spring break on you?
No, talk to me, bro. That's what the people are here for. Let's talk about this garage.
If you got, like, when you, we take it for granted, guys. When you raise your garage, there's like a coil that goes up. Apparently, if that thing breaks, I looked it up on Google. It kills a lot of people. Like, a lot of people die from garage every year. No, I swear to God, the guy that was there that was doing the work on it, he's like, hey, man, you might want to duck. And I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, you should probably like hide down there. Anyways, right here, Carly Ray says she has a friend who lost an eye due to that.
Of course.
So anyways, long story short, I can't get my freaking car out of my garage. And so that's cool. Anyways, Bet US.
That's a good reason. That's a good reason to hop on the pod, man.
What's up, Cheesehead Murph? I love Murph.
Murph's the man, dude. We got a crowd in here. I've been just reading chats, talking to the chat a little bit. Let's see. Doug in here says Bet US still has the Packers +1 and over-under is at 42.5. Jacob, leading up to game time, we hit the actives, inactives. I'm going to pull it up for you here once so you can kind of get updated on it real quick.
I was
Bang.
all listening because I was dealing with all this stuff. But yeah,
Gotcha. So Jordan Addison's active. Inactive for the Packers, Christian Watson, Devondre Campbell, Dontavian Wicks, Caleb Jones, and Brenton Cox Jr. I don't think none of those are a surprise. Based off of that information there, how you feeling, man? We're what, roughly, we're just about 30 minutes from kickoff, right? So how you feeling about it, dude?
Oh, man, Clayton, I don't know. I don't know. Real quick, is Brenton Cox Jr. actually hurt, or is he just kind of one of those guys that's a scrub every now and then?
I think with Brenton Cox Jr., they see the upside. This is just my opinion. I don't have
They're
anybody telling me this. I think they see the upside and they're trying to protect him. They're trying to keep him on the roster. That's why they don't want to try to take an opportunity or take a chance, I should say, a risk of him trying to clear waivers. And look at their edge room right now. I mean, they're basically 4 deep. They're 4 deep. So you really don't need him at the moment. He's not one of those guys at the moment that's a special teams contributor, to the best of my knowledge, not like a great special teams contributor. So you can afford to make him inactive, but you're still protecting him on the roster, if that makes sense. They could probably sign him to a futures contract and lock him down for next year too, if I understand that rule correctly, but we'll get into that in the offseason. I'm sorry. Go ahead though, man.
No, I'm over here reading the chat. Half of them are talking about how, like, yeah, it happens in winter, the garage stuff. Otherwise, it's just funny. I woke up this morning and I felt, man, I felt late. I was late for my family Christmas, and then so I had to run and do that. And by the way, a shout out to Carly Ray. She invited me to go out to her family, get together they had today, like a New Year's stuff. It's just great that we get to know each other, kind of thing. Me and Carly Ray are like really 20 miles away from each other, so
That's awesome.
kind of cool. And I would have never, like I said, I don't know if you guys remember, but she met me randomly when I was going to jump out of a plane with my 80-year-old grandfather. And she's like, "Are you from the Packernet podcast?" And I'm like, "Yeah." That was the first time I felt cool in my whole life. So that was.
And then you were terrified getting on that plane.
And then I pooped myself when I was jumping out of the plane. And she saw it firsthand. So yeah. So this morning I woke up, and usually when I wake up on a game day, I'm like, "Oh, man, I have a feeling one way or the other." My head was so in many different places. I haven't had a grasp of it yet, and I didn't get to watch enough games today. Honestly, I haven't had a day off in a while, so I went to the Christmas for a little bit. I slept half the day, but I had these weird. Do you ever have dreams where you fall? Have you ever had like a day nap where you like randomly you're thinking about something, so you start visualizing things, and you almost have like this out of body? I envisioned us winning tonight. I don't know why, but I see Matt LaFleur like getting a lot of credit after the game. I don't know why. I feel like the players are going to be like embracing him and like some sort of like after game, whatever. I do feel weirdly confident. And most of the time when we play the Vikings, I do not feel that way. Even if I have a sort of underneath confidence, I mask it. Judy, spoiler alert, yeah. I don't know why. I feel good. I feel good today. I have a upbeat vibe. My grandpa, who's usually a negative Nancy, he was like, "I think we're gonna beat him today." And I'm like, "All right, Gramps, we got this then." So I'm good. I'm good. I'm hopefully optimistic right now. That's the best I can be.
Advanced reading of the NFL script is what I think happened. Drew D says we control our own destiny, baby. And United Bates, I'm so sorry, man. I missed this super chat. I was in here just hanging on for dear life. He said, "Happy New Year's, everyone. Thank you for flying solo, Clayton. Chat has your back. Go Pack, go." And they did, Jacob, man. They brought the thunder, dude. I couldn't keep up. Absolutely awesome. But Bates, thank you so much for the support. Really excited. Bates is actually going to send in 3, if I understood correctly, however many. If he sends 1, if he doesn't send anything, we appreciate the support. But he's wanting to donate 3 autographed cards for Packers. Okay. And I won't say the names in case he changes his mind. But basically, when he sends those in, what we're going to do is give them away right here on the network. And it's just his way of giving back to the listeners the same way we try to. It's just so cool, man, meeting these awesome people, Jacob. It's been phenomenal. Stephen Smith confirms, and again, Bates, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He confirms it is FedEx, not UPS. I apologize for that. So it's FedEx that Arthur Smith's family owns. So it's talking about how butt nasty rich that dude is, right? And he doesn't even have to coach, but coaches because he loves it. And according to Atlanta fans, he sucks at it, but still doing it. Chad Inc. said, "I agree, Clayton. That's how I feel about Brenton Cox." and why he's inactive. They see something and they don't want anyone grabbing him away from us. That's an interesting choice of words there, Chad.
I was
They don't know. That's how I feel about Cox. He's inactive. They see something and they don't want anyone grabbing him. So there you go. I got to do it. I'm sorry, Chad. I'm sorry. You probably never listen to the show again, but I got to do it to you here. Let me find it real quick. Where's it at?
That's what she said.
Michael, please.
There he is.
Please.
Mwah! I love
There he
it. The
is.
kiss at the end. Mwah! United Bates says, thank you for the super chat. He said, yes, sir. Those 3 are coming your way. Awesome. We'll give them away, man. So we're going to continue to give away some really cool memorabilia to people that listen to the show and put up with us. If you guys would hit that like button for us so other Packer fans can find this show, find this channel, find this content. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Jacob, I have not talked about, listen, I don't want to make this long. I just want your 5-minute take, 3-minute take, however long it is. We haven't got to talk. You're always talking about the conspiracy of the NFL and is the fix in sometimes. And did you see the Detroit game last night, man?
I saw it. Yeah.
What did you think? Did you think I told Clayton over and over and over? What?
All I'm saying is that I have a theme song for a reason. I mean, we got an intro, we got the whole thing. It's not like I'm just all right. Yeah, I love a good conspiracy that I know is false more than anyone, but I really like a conspiracy that could be true. You know, if you give me just a couple breadcrumbs, I'm gonna connect those. I'm gonna be like Charlie Day, smoking cigarettes, connecting those lines, bro. I'm doing it. So
I got you right here. This is it right here, Jay. All right, now continue, Jacob. Was it a fix or not? Was it a fix in?
Oh God, don't put me.
I ain't putting you on the spot, bro. It's bad. So
it was very suspect. I'll say that.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
And it's weird to me that this year, all of a sudden, if you want me to get really into the conspiracy zone here, it's odd to me that all of a sudden the analysts and the announcers are shining light on how bad the refereeing is.
Yes,
so I don't know.
yes.
Have you noticed that too? It's like forever they'd be like, "Oh no, that was a like heat of the moment kind of call." But like for instance, Troy Buck and Troy Aikman and or Joe Buck, I should say. They just seem like they're more open to being like, "Oh, that was a really bad call, ruined the whole game flow," kind of thing. I don't know, dude. It seems like as if that maybe they're so again, if I'm in my conspiracy head, they've told the analysis to be like, "Hey, man, we gotta let them know that we're on top of them, knowing we're on top of it," kind of thing. So let's just start talking about it randomly. It's like I don't know. It does seem weird. It does seem weird.
Yeah, it does, man. Carly Ray in the chat said those refs honestly need to take more pride in their jobs, mixing up the names/numbers. Seriously, completely agree. Cheesehead Murph said Carly PTA Secretary of State. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yes, if I heard correctly,
is that what just happened?
Hey, come on now. Let's don't do this. Let's don't do this in here.
Yeah, so fine. She's got better hair.
Number one Packer fan said, "I'll jump right in. The NFL is controlled by the globalists." LOL.
Oh,
I love it.
Nice.
So, yeah. What was I going to say? There was something I was going to hit on there before you said that name, and I thought, man, that's a trigger name right there. Lord have mercy. The stream automatically goes down on YouTube, right?
Oh,
anyway, I've lost it. Oh, the officials. I thought I read somewhere that that crew has been taken out of basically out of consideration for play as a playoff crew.
Playoffs.
Did you hear that, Jacob?
So what I heard was actually the opposite, is that they are in line to be in the playoffs, and that
plot thickens.
Maybe we're that'd be good to follow up on though. I heard that like that's what was the big controversy, was these guys are in line to be in the playoffs or whatever, but we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. United Base says Bigfoot enters the chat.
You call me anything you want, but don't call me that.
You love to see it. All right, we're at the 49-minute mark. We got a herd of people in here. We appreciate y'all. We're getting close to kickoff. I want to give people time to go to their fridge and grab a daddy soda and not scramble to the TV. But appreciate y'all hanging out with us here. Jacob, what do you want to add here, man? Little parting thoughts. I appreciate you jumping on, man. The last 20 minutes have been way easier than the first 30. I promise you that.
I was listening to you for about 20 minutes before I could jump on. I had the construction guy at my house or
Dodging springs and all that.
I swear, if you guys saw me, you thought I was such a little sissy. He told me that, and I went, "All right, that's cool." And then I started ducking down behind my car as he's like cranking on it. He's like, "Yeah, no, these killed quite a lot of people," and I'm just like, "Yeah, that's
You'll shoot your eye out."
I don't know, dude. I like I said, I'm in a good mood right now because I'm just. What else?
Because the game hasn't played yet.
Well, exactly, and that's the point. Is that like right now I want to either I can decide the rest of the year, which is like 12 hours longer. Well, how long are we got now? 6 o'clock. We're getting down to the wee hours of 2023. I'm deciding I'm not going to be a horrible cuss about that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna use the rest of the last few hours. I'm gonna turn over a new leaf. I'm gonna be a positive, happy, fun-loving guy. And then as far as we go into 2024, we've got another game to win. So if we win tonight, we're stacking up wins. And it is just a little disconcerting the fact that we're at a point where we are win to like we're basically in playoff football right now, and the fact that it seems like the locker room maybe isn't quite wrapped their head around that fact, and that we're talking about really stupid stuff right now. We don't have to get into it. We spent the whole week talking about it. Tim highlighted it very well. But right now it's like it's game day. I don't give a crap what we've been talking about. I don't give a crap about Jair. I don't give a shnikes about anything. Let's just go out. Let's just play football and let's win. We got another game after that, and then who knows? People are like, you can't win. You're not going to go to the playoffs. 2010, bro. 2010. I wouldn't say we're in the same position, but we're in a sneakily similar position where if we win and if we start getting on a roll, and if for some god reason that Joe Barry figures out how to run a defense, and the defense, I shouldn't say that. If the defensive players decide to play for Joe Barry and it all comes together, holy mother of God, we could maybe start winning a couple games. It only takes what, 5? If we win 5 straight, do we win the Super Bowl? Is it 6?
It's let's see. Yeah, it would be tonight. It would be next week. It would be the wild card round, the division round, the conference round, and then the Super Bowl. So 6, 5 to get to the Super Bowl, 6 to win it all.
6 to win. We can do that.
We can do this, guys.
Do it. You can do it.
I know y'all hear the doubt in our voice. They're going, you ain't selling me.
We can do it.
I think we can do it. I'm going to go get another daddy soda. Jake K in the chat said, go Pack go. We need a couple interceptions in this one. Absolutely. Got to win the turnover differential, man. It's going to be absolutely huge. Keep an eye on that middle late too, guys. The last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. Don't chart the game. Chart the score there. What I'm saying is 4 minutes left in the first half, right? And the first 4 minutes played in the second half. Who has the winning score in that time frame right there? You'd be surprised at how often the team that wins that middle late goes on to win the game. And not only that, but when you couple in turnover differential along with that, man, it's like 92, 93% of the time. If a team wins both of those statistics, turnover differential and the middle late, they go on to win the ball game. Cheesehead Murph said, how was Top Golf today, Clay? It was fun, Murph. I'm not a golf guy. I played baseball my whole life. So I get on the golf course, man. I'll light into that ball and then it's gone off the course, right? I slice everything. I was an opposite field hitter. So I was trained muscle memory my entire life to keep your shoulder closed, drive the ball to right field, drive it to right center. I was kind of the spray hitter. I get on that golf course, man. They show me how to hold the club, and I feel like I'm 2 years old trying to learn how to walk. I'm like, I cannot do it. But I'll tell you what, a couple Michelob Ultras out there, right? Some good wings, some nachos.
Starts going straight.
Hey, yeah. No, it seemed like it got straighter, but I know they didn't. So I was like, yeah, I'm doing good now. No, you're not. No, you're not. Everybody else was looking at me like, no, you're not. Please hold on to that club there, buddy. Don't let that club go. We're begging you. All right. Last one. Mario Martinez says, go from Cali. Pack. Love it. Love it. We got California in the house. Appreciate you swinging through. All right, we're out of here, guys. We appreciate you. We're getting close to kickoff. Thank y'all so much for carrying the load in here tonight. You guys were awesome. Jacob, thank you for hopping on at the end. There's the cat. The cat. What's the cat telling us tonight, Jacob? What's the cat telling us tonight?
Never mind. He's telling us we're gonna win. We're gonna win.
Nice. Yeah. I'll tell you what the cat said one time before, or at least he made someone else
really excited, and the next minute, I'm laying on the floor hurting.
Never forget, guys. 2006 Christmas MVP, Mr. Fiddles.
Mr.
Right?
Fiddles
took care of business back in 06. Wasn't playing games.
Is he dead?
Said, I know you're excited about opening that PlayStation, buddy. Once you act your age and not your IQ, whop, 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 put him in the floor. That's what I want to see LBN do to Jaron Hall tonight, man.
Yeah.
Like a spider monkey, all jacked up on Mountain Dew. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, we're out of here. Last one, Zane Strong says, listen, guys, Happy New Year's. Let's end this year with a 35-17 win. Go Pack Go. Drew D, Go Pack Go. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the game. There's a slight chance we'll be doing a post-game show. Jacob, if I decide to do a quick post-game show, are you available, or you're probably going to be busy with New Year's, right?
I'll give it a whirl. I'll give it the old college try.
Okay. It's not a guarantee, but if you find yourself hanging out and you say, oh, Clayton's going to do one, I'll text you and just hop on, okay? If we do want it to be real, like I said, I might get divorced if I come up here and do a pod while the ball.
It looks like you're broadcasting from a college dorm. Where are you?
So this is Mandy's sister's house, okay? Her and her husband live there. Yeah, you see the old school, I think that's what do you call that? What's the lacrosse? So lacrosse stick, right? He played college lacrosse. Pretty good athlete. This is his office. So I'm in Chattanooga right now. Sprung it on me at the last second. It's like, God almighty. So I had to pack up the studio. This is the deal, Jacob. We're gonna wrap up with this. She said, let's go to Green Bay this year. Let's go to Green Bay. I said, man, listen, baby. I want to relax this winter. I don't want to take any trips. Okay. We can do Green Bay next year. Maybe we'll do it in the spring too. We'll do it twice next year. I ain't doing it this year. Okay. We ended up going to Florida twice. Now I'm in Chattanooga. And oh yeah, by the way, her phone buzzed earlier. I picked up her phone. She was downstairs. Guess what it was? Airline tickets to go to Key West, Florida here in February. So she doesn't know. If she's watching downstairs right now, she's going, oh crap, he knows. I know, Mandy. He's about to drag me to Florida. So there you have it. If I missed Jacob, I would have went to Green Bay a half a dozen times this year. If I was going to have to travel anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, she should probably just schedule you a vacation. Just come up to Hudson, man. It's right across the board. It's literally like you could throw a football across to Minnesota. It's 20 minutes away from Minneapolis, which isn't a selling point. That's not my point. It's just that we're next to a city that has a really crappy football team. And then if we want to actually drive across the state, we have to go about 3.5 hours to get to Green Bay. But I do it every time I go there. So anyways, tell Mandy at least schedule one more trip in Green Bay area this year, or Appleton. That's where I was born. So yeah, let's go.
I love Appleton. Appleton's an awesome place. We used to stay there when we were broke and we were going to Green Bay. I'd always stay in Appleton because it was cheaper. All the broke
people stay. Yeah, so I was born there.
It was good. It was good to stay. Number one Packer fan says, Clay, you need access. You need access to your wife more than Packers total access, bro. LOL. If Mandy says no, it's a no. Believe me, if Mandy says no, it's a no. That's a fact. There's no two ways about it. Roger Davis, I'm about to ban you from the chat there, buddy. If you wasn't a member of the PTA posse, he says you'll love Key West. Mandy's probably going to like that. Yeah, see? Roger's right. No, I'm tired of traveling, man. I just want to I am such a stick in the mud. Dude. I just want to sit at home and pet my dogs and watch football 24/7. She's like, the game is on Sunday. How do you watch football 7 days a week? I'm like, it's hard work, but somebody's got to do it. So we'll figure it out. All right, guys, we're out of here. Remember, don't forget Mr. Fiddles. Dude balled out on Christmas in 2006. It was still on the screen. I had to hit it. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy the game. You may see us post-game. If you don't, forgive me, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Be safe out there. Have an awesome New Year's Eve. Hopefully, we're celebrating a dub. If not, we're still going to be here for next week, finishing this season off with a bang. But we will see you guys when we see you, either tonight or tomorrow morning. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Special shout-out. Really appreciate you. United Bates, thank you so much, buddy, for all the help, all the support you give to the show. Everybody in the chat, thank y'all for carrying the load. Appreciate y'all. Be safe out there. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Pack Go.
The power sweep. Actually, it's the lead play in our offense.
We ask our YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet. Get an isolation with the linebacker. Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.